want to lay some ground rules. And because we are on YouTube, we can't use your child's name. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. That's not a problem. How would you like me to address you today?
Dakota.
Dakota, thanks. Dakota, we're going to go over the best interest factors. These are factors that the agency is asking the court to consider, and the court has to consider regarding the direction where this case goes, okay? Do you agree that your child needs permanency in your child's life?
Yes.
Okay. You have a source of income, correct?
Yes. Sorry.
And during this last 30 days, can you tell us what that source of income was and how much?
So, because originally it was just $900, almost $1,000. Sorry, I don't know the exact amount off the top of my head, but it's roughly $1,000 every month, maybe $20 to $40 less, maybe. But with that money, I normally pay off the rent and everything else, electricity, everything. That is normally, I'm the first one that gets hit for my check. Then honey is usually the backup check. That means anything.
Honey refers to mother.
Jackie.
Fine, thanks.
Yes.
Okay, so we know.
I explicitly made sure this was the point so that I could get all the big things out for me. Meaning, so I'm the one taking the brunt of the force while she's getting all the extra back pay.
Sounds so you guys commingle, you combine your funds, is that correct?
We normally have, if we are having maybe 100 to 200, determining on if the bills are paid like really well, that's when the bills are under like $50. That's when we have that. And that's what I stated originally, as long as I had my Medicare, I'd have that constantly every single month. We've been buying toys recently for the baby. We bought it literally a new King Kong toy literally this week on Monday. They went shopping to Walmart and went through that entire thing.
That's so she can bring that to the visitations?
Yep. Case in point, I deemed that the little hammer toy that was part of it might be a choking hazard. I went, that's not coming with you. She went, understandable. I was already not going to do that. She has double checked and made sure even the toy has chokeable parts.
Well, I'm going to get back to that. We're on the money right now. Okay.
Yeah. No,
and can you tell us about how much did mom bring in the last 30 days?
She's actually been getting her whole check with her mom after the altercation that had happened before.
Which is about how much?
It's almost 1,600 last time I checked.
So you guys bring about $2,000 a month, about 25,000 a year. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, roughly around that.
And that's enough to take care of all of your bills?
And we still have almost 200 extra normally.
Would that be enough if your child were returned to you to take care of her child, do you think?
Yeah, we just got to cut down on DoorDash orders. That's all.
Understandable. Okay. How long have you lived where you're living right now?
It's been half a year, I believe, for right now. I have tried everything related to anger management related.
Well, we'll get to that. So you haven't received an eviction notice, correct?
No, but for some reason.
And is your lease for month to month, or is it for a year or 2 years?
It's for a year, at least.
Okay, great. So when is that up? Do you happen to know?
I do not know off the top of my head. I would have already had that prepared if I had that.
Now, the court also does have to look at the bond that your child has with you. I know it's been over a year since you've had a visit, correct?
Mm-hmm. I've only seen him twice, and that was within, like, when he was literally a baby, and I wished to have seen him person to person. Gave a second option, like, hey, can my honey join in these? Or say, deem someone that you are going to designate the person I'm supposed to be handing off the baby to if I have these issues related. Those didn't get heard in any of the family team meetings that I have said since the past year.
Let me ask you this. In your mind, do you think your child has a bond with you?
No, I do not, because to repeat, I have only been seeing videos between them. And I have mentioned that Zoom actually causes me issues. I have issues even doing Zoom related to my counseling, and I've been doing that to offset my aggression majority of the time. Sorry.
No problem. Do you need any water? Would that help you?
Can I get the tissue box? That's all I care about.
Okay with the board?
Sure.
And the bailiff will get you a glass of water if you need one, okay?
Not good, I got it.
No.
Thank you.
Can we get rid of your gum, please?
Oh, yes, I
I'm
can.
just gonna ask the same thing, so thank you.
Apologies.
Thank you.
There you go.
It says here that you don't have ability to parent your child. Tell me how old your child is now.
He is almost a year in, almost 4 months, maybe 2 months, year and 2 months, I would say, correct, like roughly that.
You have brought to my attention that you've been taking some parenting classes on your own, correct?
Yes, I have explicitly.
And where did you happen to find these parenting classes?
I literally looked up for toddler baby 1 year old tips and tricks, basically. That's all I put into there. And the first one that popped up was a pediatrician named Emma Hubbard. She's a pediatrician specifically that I watched. She had over 1.4 million views, so I thought that was good to watch.
Have you talked to a counselor or anybody to see what their opinion is of her?
I haven't had the chance to. I literally just got I just got into counseling literally 3 weeks ago. Literally the right counselor. It's CMH, but the people that work there go through the same building as family medical. So I can just say I'm going to family medical, get my rides free for getting my counseling free to guarantee so I don't have to carry for all this bus tokens and stuff that I haven't really been getting from Ava. I've asked since last week and still haven't truthfully received them.
Well, let's keep you focused because we're going to get into the counseling, okay?
Yeah.
Now, how long are these videos that you've been watching?
So each one is 7 minutes long, but those 7 minutes are packed full of information.
You
I
have
have
sent me
paragraph of stuff.
You have sent me an email this week of how many you've watched. About how many have you watched?
For me and Honey specifically sit down every night, especially on the nights where we're missing baby the most. We sit down and watch 3 of these videos every night, trying to. We've only sent about 18 of them though.
Good. Can you tell us some of the skills you have learned within this last 30 days from listening to this video that you didn't know or that reinforced something for you?
Dakota likes to use a lot of hand gestures. I learned that some fussy natures can come from hand gestures. If you're going to go and talk to your child, do not go and use hand gestures. Try and keep it like almost a stone statue kind of deal. Calm, low voice, those kind of things. Demonstrate that you're not mad at them if they've done something wrong, but understand, like, explain the action of going over and saying, hey, this may hurt you. If you're going to keep doing that, I may either have to move you or we're going to figure out a different solution. Can I put like pillows below you first? Can we find a separate solution? Something that is safer, but still allows the action so that he can still respond to it rather than just stopping the action outright. Dakota has the problem, which I had explained in these family team meetings before. He goes overboard, which means he thinks there's already a pre-existing problem. That's when he panics. When he panics, he's lost.
When you say Dakota, you're referring to yourself, right?
Me, because that's the normal thought process.
We're just keeping a record, so.
Yep. Split personality allows me to be safer when I mention myself in third person. So
Okay, no problem.
better explaining too.
You're doing perfectly fine.
It also allows me to also talk for my baby. So if I'm going to be doing it, it's going to be Daddy Dakota. That's the term that I will be using around my child, not what his real name or anything related to that. It's going to be, hey, can you listen to Daddy Dakota for a second? We got something we got to mention.
Can you tell us some other skills that you've learned from these videos?
Eating trips. There was a tip and tricks about throwing food. Sometimes if they are throwing your food, it means that they are either too full or do not like the food at all. Dakota knows that feeling because he had to deal with the issues of throwing food as a younger child all the way up to ages of 7. He didn't know the difference between throwing food and not. So he understood some of those things. Case is the point. why he was normally trying to figure out the throwing food issue, because that's going to irritate me. It's going to make a giant mess. Something that would be.
So you learn to deal with storing food. What's another issue you've learned to deal with from these videos?
Sometimes it was, did I already say tantrums? Tantrums are the major ones that I looked up, because I have issues with someone else being overly outbursting and showing their emotion. So Dakota doesn't know how to control that outburst. That's what I was going to explain later on down the road. Case in point, normally whenever he is dealing with a kid, anything else, he will treat him almost like, sorry to say this, but a dog. But a dog in my eyes means they are honestly protected. Anyone who gets near it that is in harmful nature will automatically see me between you. That's the difference. It has happened multiple times, and that is one of the reasons why I had my visits taken away, because Dakota's actions were actually in the action of protecting his child, not aggression. And I have been trying to deem whether it's okay or not for aggression.
Okay. Is there, and you don't need to give specific examples, but are there some other areas that you learned from these videos? I know you want me to ask you these.
Safe zones.
What's that? What's your
Do you know what a
understanding?
play safe zone is? It's creating an area or a zone that could be designated as their play area. It's the one that you can keep either a little bit messy, just with all their toys and stuff. So I was going to designate, because his room has one big door on the other side that can close him off. All I got to do is put a little doorknob thing on it, and it stops him from opening that door. And then I just put a little gate in front of it, which guarantees that he has his entire room open to play and do whatever, and I can watch it with a single headphone out while I play video games while I'm just sitting there. He can't see the TV if I angle it correctly, so he doesn't get hit by any of the issues of video games.
Okay, now, the grandmother of the child, she's back out west, she on the Pacific coast. She's not living with you now, correct?
The only reason she
No, I'm just asking, is that true?
Yeah, she's supposed to be going back after this court, supposedly.
Sure. When she's not there, would you say things are typically calmer?
Very calm, almost day and night cycle difference. That's what I have explained beforehand. But it doesn't mean that she's not allowed over at my house. I accept her because she is family. That's the case in point.
Okay.
It's just we butt heads, like I stated. And in one of these cases, it was one of these reasons.
Do you know of any relatives that would like to have this, I'm not gonna use the child's name, but would like to have the child? Because that's a question, would be, are there any relatives out there?
If I had to, I could probably talk to my, what's it called? My Aunt Brandy. She's up with my mother. She has at least 6 other kids. She was looking at wanting a baby too. Brandy's one of the ones that I have mentioned in the past. That is one of the ones that is helping my mom right now. But I don't know how that will do, because mom's not too up there kind of deal. She has seizures worse than I do. So.
Okay.
And almost all the stature.
Gotcha. Okay. Just scrolling back to the beginning of this petition, you're getting it from it here.
Mm-hmm.
Go. Your lease, I think you've testified, is not terminated. Is that correct?
It is not. No, we have not. But the landlord said that they have changed the people that we are renting to. So meaning just.
You mean new ownership?
Yeah, new ownership. So somebody's bought the property basically. We just found that out literally 2 days ago. That's the only reason it hasn't been notified for CPS.
In their petition, one of the allegations is that you're not maintaining regular, frequent contact with the department. Would you say that's true or not?
That's not true, because every time that Jackie is notifying, that's what I had mentioned in my team meetings. I don't have a normal phone. My phone number, I honestly don't know and remember. So in that case in point, I only use it as a Wi-Fi phone. I don't get calls on it. I can't receive it unless I have it in my hands right then and there. don't get notified, don't get nothing. That's why she is the one that notified everyone in the department of my allegations and stuff, because I was sitting there asking, can you word it this way, please?
So are you telling us then that you contact through her to the department?
Yes, and I have mentioned in past meetings and family team meetings that I would be doing it this way because I do not have a working phone normally. And I would probably be keeping that way so that it helps a little bit. Certain other actions and bills.
You are seeing somebody from community mental health now, correct?
Yes.
When did this begin?
This was literally a month ago when after I got out of the hospital and had my fight, I said, no, I desperately just had a fight. I need someone else. I just kicked out my mom. I need everything for this to be fixed. What do? I now have medical insurance. What do I do? Luckily, they had already contacted me back, and it was the lady that I was talking to was the coordinator for it. So the person that had picked up was the CMH.
So do you have a worker?
Yeah, I have
And who is that worker?
the first one, the coordinator, I believe, is named Jess, and the other one I forgot off of the top.
So have you seen a psychiatrist about medications?
We are trying to get an autism test.
Okay.
done. An autism test and a testosterone test, specifically because if that's one of the reasons, we now know why I have these minor acute outbursts. And I could explain those for why they are extremely.
Okay. Okay. Is that scheduled, these tests?
We are trying to get a doctor scheduled. I'm seeing Dr. Chu on the 6th of October to get some of these tests double checked and counted.
I'm not familiar with Dr. Chu. Is that with CMH?
That is from Family Medical. It's
Family
literally right across the hall from my counseling.
Gotcha.
That's why I have spent all this time determining whether or not you can go to CMH, get your actual bus fare paid for or not. So I went to Adrian Counseling to see if I could get my bus fare paid for or not, and figured out the only place that does it is Family Medical. I've been doing all this. That's why I told you it would take so long, because I have to go to different counseling groups to actually fix myself. Not just one. What I said before. Sorry, on
These
stage.
videos you've been watching, number 28 is about parenting education. Are these specifically parenting education videos?
Literally parenting educations. If you had a toddler that was up to the age of 1 year old, these are supposed to be dealing it from the ages of 0 to 1 year old for fussiness. They have an entire explanation that I could read off right now in my hands. That's why I've taken my tablet up to the stands for everyone to notify.
Not quite sure what's that reference to taking the tablet up there?
To notify that I have my tablet up here, because I didn't notify that I brought it up here.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why. Case in point. And so if I need to read it off, I can.
Well, but you don't have to, because remember I said I would
Yeah.
ask you if you need to refresh your memory. And
I don't need to.
right now, you seem to remember, you seem to have covered it. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, there's at least 3 of the ones that I've sent so far.
Time, as you and I have discussed, is another important factor on this case, correct?
Yes, very much so.
Do you believe you're at the point where you would be able to have in-person visits?
Actually, yeah, as long as I had someone else there that I trusted. Honestly, I haven't been feeling very trustful with Ava, because every time that I've come up here, I've kind of been told it's been good, and then been told, let's just wait for court. At least that's what I remember from the conversation that I wrote down.
Do you know Ava knows what you've told us about your testing you're going to receive and your?
Yes, I have told her about the autism testing. Yes, I have told her about the other thing, testosterone testing. That was last court. It said, I don't really care, truthfully. I believe those were the words that were answered, but I don't want to explicitly mention things that are out of context.
What are your long-term plans with remaining with mother? Is that what your goal is, to plan together?
Yep, as long as Patty isn't too, literally, I will probably have to have her at most once every 2 to 3 months at most if she wants to come up and
Who is
visit.
Patty?
Patty Lomas is Jackie,
Okay.
the
Lomas,
mother's
actually.
mother-in-law, the one that I have the majority of problems to mitigate arguments and issues so that she has her time and so that Honey can have her de-stressor moments too. That's what I have relegated and designated for a good space out period normally.
Do you say there's tranquility in the home between you and mother right now? Is there peacefulness?
For right now, yeah, since we're trying to keep it as safe and possible, we've been actually having conversations since she has returned back from after leaving the months in advance. We talked it over the phone, tried our best. It's normally how I do everything. Normally talk it out first. Even if we've had a big argument, I will bring it back up if it is going to be a continuous subject. Rather deal with it than have it constantly fester, because that's a worse thing that I have to deal with later on. Truthfully.
How much time do you think it would realistically take you to have this child living back in the house with both of you, in the home with both of you?
If I actually was able to see my child face to face, get the textile, determine if I can hug, I can do not. I need someone literally going over and go, hey, I don't deem that's an okay response. I would need you to explain a little bit more, not just go, don't do that. Because if you do that to me, my first response will be panic. It will not be what? I've had repetitively mentioned this to my neighbors. I've asked them repetitively to stop doing certain actions politely. I even had to call on the cops on the neighbors repetitively, not just for the other stuff, but for other things too.
Have you considered exploring someplace else to live where you won't have bothersome neighbors?
Yeah, that's literally as soon as, if I'm being told that I have to move, literally my next plans will be to save up all money to move. Every dime, we won't be doing DoorDash orders. It will be literally saving as much as possible. We normally have at least, if we're saving correctly, 500. If not saving correctly, 200.
Is there any other subjects regarding, you've had an opportunity to read the petition for termination that's been filed for a while, correct?
I tried to yesterday with my counselor. I read halfway through it, but we were having issues, but the majority of it, yes.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to tell the court about what's in this petition, why you think you've improved or things are just not true?
A lot of things I could state.
Well, this is your opportunity.
Truthfully, whenever I have actually tried to be polite, I would say, the kind Dakota comes out, the one that I'm trying to show to everyone so I can actually see if that's the one that I should be showing to my child. Sure. Case in point, I get either shot down, I get either waited till either I fully explode and I've explained the thing, don't usually get an I don't know. Those are the normal responses I normally get. And whenever I'm told that I don't know and not given any direction, where do you think I'm going to go? Down the drain. If I'm not able to see my child, the reason why I had so much issues with the CMH, not CMH, the last parenting people was because they explicitly wanted me to have certain guidelines set. That means literally I could not be late for a single time. I have issues with even getting the bus there. So I had to schedule an hour ahead of the time. I would be sitting there and they kept telling me, stop showing up an hour early. But that's the only way that I can arrive there early. That's one of the reasons why I stated that if I'm not going to be there an hour early, I can't make it there. I have stated it to them and I kind of got we were waiting there for an hour for you. Truthfully, Dan only got there for 20 minutes.
Well, we're kind of covering just when we were in court last time, okay?
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm sorry,
what
it was my fault. I didn't have you focus on that time frame. Okay?
Apologies.
So I know you've called me several times. We've had some lengthy chats between the last court date and today. Is there anything in that time frame? Let me focus it that you wish to address that you haven't addressed.
Not that I know of right now.
Okay, some other attorneys are going to have you questions. If I think necessary, I may ask you some more. Okay? Thank you.
Ms. Thomas.
Thank you. Mr. Herman Duckworth, there's just a couple of questions I had for clarification, okay? You, in your testimony with Mr. McFarland, stated you've tried everything related to anger management. Can you tell us what classes or what therapy you've done for anger management?
I originally stated back in this court case that I have taken over at least 14 years of my life going through these anger management classes. Normally, I was even doing on TikTok, watching complex psychology courses. The action where psychologists learn about the difference between what you're feeling and how you would be feeling. A lot of those I was breaking down for. I figured out that I might have complex trauma response. That's why I have the aggression response normally. And that's what I was trying to do so that I could better organize and better identify my problems for my counselor or therapist so that we're not spending more time in this court, truthfully.
Okay. And then you mentioned that you have issues with Zoom, so it would be triggering for parenting time. It also is not.
Sorry, even watching you now, looking at the little screen, I'm having issues even determining the blue and the black that you're wearing and the background noise issues. If I have headphones on, I'm going to be acute to other noises in the room. I have issues with auditory sensations. Why I had mentioned an autistic test, because if I am autistic, it means I have auditory sensations issues, which is higher than a normal person, which means I need to go figure out something to work with that, which is what I have been mentioning in the past. Okay, sorry. Do you have anything else? Can you ask your question again so everyone can hear it? Apologies, I interrupted.
I'm going to move on now. When you mentioned the pediatrician online with 1.4 million views, was that on TikTok?
No, this is actually on YouTube. Emma Hubbard, you can look her up. It is the exact name and thing, called Emma Hubbard on YouTube.
Okay.
She is
And
a pediatrician, sorry. Says it in her bio. Apologies.
Okay.
Continue.
when is the last time you smoked marijuana or consumed THC?
Every day, technically. It's to help mitigate my hunger and to help me actually eat. Even now,
So when
I'm on
did
it.
you last consume? Yep. When did you last consume THC today?
It was 9:44. I went out, took my break, and then the second time was at 11:20. That was after I had cleaned my house today. And that literally took me 2 hours, and the stuff that was mentioned that may seem like my house is messy was cleaned up after I had my coordinator come over the day before.
How much THC did you consume today?
It was 2 puffs, and it's from a Maha Medical vape pen. It's 2-gram cartridges. Those normally last me, if I am explicitly going to mention those, 1 cartridge a week normally will satisfy me as long as I'm not having an anxiety episode. If I'm having those, I take hydroxyzine, which is the medication that has been prescribed by the other counseling group, Dr. Bob.
And did you discuss with the doctor who's prescribing the hydroxyzine, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, about any interactions THC might have with it?
Yep, it said it would produce higher, sensitivity issues. That's why I normally have my headphones in for these cases and points. But I explicitly took them out this time for that reason, so that I could hear you better, rather than having you be muted.
And then you mentioned something about an aunt and your mom And you mentioned that you had to kick your mom out. Can you help us understand
Oh,
if your
no,
mom?
it wasn't my mom, okay? My mom normally has issues with medical stuff, so she either has seizures, full body like I do, but hers, she loses her memory almost becoming a toddler. That's actually what I grew up taking care of my mom majority of my life. Since the age of 4, I had to learn how to actually get water. I had to learn how to go get a ice pack. I had to learn how to do those things. That's the reason why. And it wasn't my mom, it was Patty, Jackie's mother-in-law. I had to kick out because I had literally just come home from the hospital. You know that pancreatitis thing? I had chosen to do a antibiotic over taking the surgery because I didn't want to spend 20 days in pain instead of, taking a little pill and wait there for a day, assume that I can get out by the time. I was up and walking around, almost running around my room by the time court was here for the last time. Does that help?
Sure. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Mr. Noe, any questions?
Briefly, Mr. Harmon Duckworth, since July, you've been doing these online classes. When did you start doing these online classes?
It was literally when the last time I was being told. So not last court, the court before that,
All right,
that was the last 2 months. We have been basically starting to do these because I deemed that these were going to be a lot easier than the other ones.
Okay.
That's why I brought in notes.
okay. But you would agree Jackie has been doing her CPC classes?
Yep.
Okay. And as far as you know, she's still meeting with the parent aide, is that correct?
Yeah, that I know of.
Okay. Has Jackie been going to the supervised parenting times as far as you know?
She goes every single time.
Okay.
She gives me a video every single time she comes home.
And you've seen those videos?
Yes, I have. I've seen them mention dad. I've seen them mention mom. I've seen them mention other things related to it, especially ball. He really likes his colorful balls.
Does he seem to interact well with Jackie?
Yes, very much so. But he does get distracted by keychains and other jingling noises I've noticed. That might be a pituitary issue. I don't know. But that's been every single time. Honey will be like, say dad, and then he'll be focused on his topic. Because you were trying to take him away, he normally has that issue. That's one of the things that I wanted to mention that I have put in my notes. Yeah, sorry.
Now, you're still working getting your own mental health services stabilized, correct?
Yes, I have been going to. I'm actually going to be seeing them tomorrow, actually, after what we determined for this court. It will be read by my counselor too, so case in point.
And you'd also agree that Jackie, meanwhile, continues to see her therapist at ACPC every week, right?
Yep,
Kim, I think is her name.
yep, Kim.
Okay.
I try and give them their space whenever they're at the house, but I do butt in minorly at times just to explain some things. But the majority of the time, I let them do their things.
Jackie's benefited from her relationship with Kim, don't you agree?
I would agree, honestly, from past experiences. Yeah, she was having minor shutdown symptoms, like full on, I can't talk and those kind of things. She's gotten a little bit better with those.
This altercation you had with your neighbor, that was on August 29th, correct?
It was probably a little, I don't remember, but yeah, I
Fair
believe
enough.
so.
If I said that's what it was,
Yeah, I am assuming it was, yeah.
fair enough, fair enough. Jackie wasn't involved in that altercation at all, correct?
No, I explicitly closed the door to make sure no one else was involved with it.
Okay.
The only reason they came out was after I had yelled 911.
Okay.
And I explicitly made sure to be loud enough that everyone could hear my words, rather than me lying.
Okay.
Why I don't be myself in the wrong, sorry.
Fair enough. And you would say that, despite your own challenges, which you've been very upfront with, and I appreciate that today, would you say you've seen Jackie consistent with her parenting time, her parenting classes, her parenting education?
She wakes up at 6 o'clock, gets ready by 8 o'clock, and then is already have eaten her breakfast and everything waiting for the door normally.
You know that Jackie's been showing up and doing what she's been asked to do by the department, correct?
Every time she comes home, she gives me a report of, yeah, normally they just tell me I'm doing fine.
Okay.
And then we come to these, that's why we got so angry last court, because to repeat, a lot of the stuff was, yeah, being told that we're not doing what we needed to. But we've been trying to do everything that we needed to. That's why we asked for ABA accommodations, because I'm literally now forcefully getting other people to check my house rather than having the CPS caseworkers do it, because I don't feel comfortable with them anymore.
Okay, all right. Have you seen them try to mislead you or Jackie at all?
Very much. Almost every single meeting. I literally couldn't, I've been told to shut up when all the important information I could have said was 11. I had to literally scream out 11 during one of our meetings just to even be heard. And after I had explained it, I still got told, what? I thought I said it loud enough for everyone to hear me. And then Kim had to interrupt everyone to even get me to be heard, and then have to re-say my words because no one was listening. That was our last family team meeting. After that, we haven't had one since then, mine or hers. It's been over 2 months, might I add.
No further
Sorry.
questions. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Ms. Underwood?
Dakota, you mentioned that you declined Zoom video parenting time with your child, correct?
I can barely see the screen normally, even with the big screen behind what we're looking at right now. You're kind of blurry right now.
But I mean, your parenting time could be with a phone or a device, right, during a virtual visit?
What are you at? Can you elaborate that? I have even issues. Just because he's hearing my voice doesn't mean that he's not. There's a difference. At that point, I would rather you just have honey in there and then I hand her off the honey and I go take a step outside, reorganize myself, and then double check what we need to do. If I feel like I'm being too overwhelmed, I can go talk to my counselor the next time and then bring this up to you guys the next point, which is what I had explained in the last couple of
Sir, I'm going to
case
stop you right there.
points.
Sir, I just asked that you're confirming that you've declined Zoom parenting time, correct?
Yes, because I have eyesight problems that have already been mentioned beforehand in past story and events, and it causes emotional distress. I have to state it again, that's a problem.
But yet you're okay with watching videos that Jackie provides you of the child?
Do you know why we're doing that? I'm not actually taking the notes. Honey's sitting in the background and me and her going, that looks really good. This looks really good. Hey, look, doesn't that sound like something we could use for the child? That sounds really good to use. And then Honey will go over and write it down. We are literally copying it word for word from the video almost so that we can use it as a reference point as this case in point, so that I don't have to go back and feel like I'm being an aggressor or feel like I'm overstepping my bounds. I'm not doing the right thing for my child.
Mr. Harmon Duckworth, I'm referring to the videos that your significant other takes of the child during her parenting time. You're
Yes.
Okay with watching those videos?
That's because I'm sat there. I'm literally almost.
Sir, it's a yes or no
2 feet.
question. You're okay with watching those videos?
The majority of the times, yes, and I'm still raging over them by the time because I haven't been able to see my child. I'm going to explain this as politely as I can. Every video, I normally have to take a 15-minute break because I haven't seen him so much. It enrages me even more. If you really want me to be honest with you, that is the case. I have stated this to my counselor. I have stated this to my coordinator. I have stated this even on stand now. How many times do I have to state it, even in your family team meetings too?
Okay, but you don't have issues with your eyesight when you're watching the videos that you watch
I
on YouTube or
literally have
TikTok?
to put this on dark mode just to even be able to see it. Half the time, I can barely even notice some of the things. It's normally 2 feet from my face. Sometimes I will even stop Honey and just sit there and listen to the video. I'm not even watching the video because honestly, all she's doing is showing big old bright pictures that sometimes look blurry. I can make out minor details, but it's hard.
All
I'm
right,
not
thank you,
gonna
sir.
want to do that with my child.
Okay, you indicated that your idea of parenting, I'm just going to paraphrase, you would put your child in a safe zone and you would continue to watch video games with one earphone out. Is that your idea of parenting a child?
If we are spending at least more than like a week together, we're gonna have quiet time where I'm gonna be playing games. Well, if let's say Honey's gonna go take a, what's it called? Go to appointment by herself, right? I have to watch the child, right? You guys are on that point of trying to deem that I'm so dangerous that I can't even watch my child by myself. But I stated that as long as I had a goal or plan set in mind normally, and I can feel it out normally, sometimes I'll even knock on wood just to hear certain objects because of sensory disorientations. That's what it called an accommodation would normally be. But the accommodation that I had asked for originally was Honey. It's very simple, co-parenting, which is another thing that was stated by Emma Hubbard in the pediatrician that I have been following. Which is better than gentle parenting, might I add, which is also stated in that. That's one of the things Honey wanted to mention. I know that was because she talked about it to me.
I have no further questions. Thank you, Judge.
Any redirect, Mr. McFarland?
I do not, Your Honor. I
Any
have no
other-
further witnesses.
Thank you. Any other questions for this witness, Ms. Thomas or Mr. Noe?
No, Your Honor.
None.
Thank you for your testimony. We return to your seats.
Thank you.